All right, welcome back. So in the last class, we discussed JavaScript variables. So let's talk about JavaScript data types, okay? But before I go on, I want you to type in the comment section, what have you been enjoying so far about this program, this free 30 days full stack series? What have you been enjoying so far? Type it in the comment section. Share this video, all right? Like this video if you have been enjoying it, okay? So that other people can also have access to this video, engage in this video, all right? And if you have not subscribed, subscribe, turn on notifications, okay? So, welcome back to our 30-day full stack series. It has been an amazing journey. This is the like the fifth video so far. All right. So yesterday we talked about variables. So today we are going to explore the types of data that can go inside these variables. Remember, we are storing values inside of variables. So data type, we are storing data inside of these variables. So what is data type? So that data that you're storing in that variable, what type? What's the type of that data type? Remember, in your box, you can put in close, you can put in your provision, you can put in your money in your box. So what type of data are you storing in that variable? So we'll be discussing the types of data you can store in JavaScript today. So understanding JavaScript data type is very crucial. It makes your code predictable and bug free. Okay, when you understand data types, it makes your life as a programmer easier. So the first data type we'll talk about is numbers. Okay, what data type, when you store somebody's age, when you store somebody's salary, when you store somebody's maybe account, all right, these are whole numbers. These are numbers, all right? So numbers are simple. They represent any numerical value in JavaScript. Any numerical value at all, somebody's age, somebody's score, somebody's salary, these are numerical values. So we call them numbers. So the type of data is number. So here we are saying let age equals to 25. So here we are declaring a variable and we are assigning. So we are doing variable initialization here. So 25 is a data that we are storing in this variable. All right. And the type of data is a numerical data. All right. And it is number. So number is the type. So price, this is floating number. So this number data type can be whole numbers or decimal numbers. All right. Numbers can be integers or they can be float decimal numbers. You can do mathematical operations like the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division on numbers data type. Don't worry, we'll talk about operations in a later class. Okay, so here we are saying let sum equals to 10 plus 5. All right, so if I go to my Visual Studio Code, maybe I can just take everything out of here. And if I say let number equal, okay, let's age equal to 34. This is a number, this is a whole number. I can also say const, you understand? I can also say const salary is equal to 999.9. Do you understand? So this is a whole number and this is a floating number, decimal number. So I can do addition. I can say console.log. I can say age plus 9 or age plus 8. So this is a mathematical operation, but don't worry, we'll talk about operations in later class, okay? So these are whole numbers. This is number data type. So numbers are like quantities you can measure. Anything that you can measure, any numerical value, these are numbers. Your age can be measured, your score can be measured, price of a product can be measured. So whenever you have any data type like this, any data that's a numerical data type, that is a number data type. So we also have strings. Strings are text, sequence of characters. That this string is another data type. So when you want to write somebody's name is a sequence of characters, is a text. All right. Some description is a text. So strings are sequence of characters. Anything inside quote is a string. So how do you write a string? If I go to my this thing, I can say let, or I can go with const. I can say first name is equal to person. So this name is a text, it's a sequence of characters. So if you want for you to make it a string, you have to put it in double quote or in single quote. It can be single quotes, But if you start with a single quote, end with a single quote. If you start with a double quote, end with a double quote. So, but this makes it a string. But if I ever remove it, remove whether the string, whether the double quote or the single quote, it is no longer a string. In this case, now JavaScript is going to see this thing as a variable that does not even exist. So if you want to make it a string, put it inside of quote, either single quote or double quote. All right. So this makes it a string. Don't make this mistake. Okay. Now, let name is equal to Paul. Here we are using double quote. You can also use single quote. Greeting, you can hear we are using single quote. Make sure that when you start with single quote, you end with single quote. If you start with double quote, you end with double quote. Strings are used for text. You can also combine them. You can do this is called string concatenation. All right. This is called string concatenation. So you can use the plus symbol to concatenate. So we'll talk more about it in the later classes. Okay. So analogy. Think of strings like words on a paper, description of anything. Do you understand? When somebody's name, description of a product, anything that is a text, anything that has a form of a text should be in a string. Numbers are for counting, strings are for saying things. Somebody's name, description of something, things like that. So we also have another data type, Boolean. All these data types I've been mentioning, we call them primitive data types. All right, we also have reference data types that are more advanced. We'll talk more about that in the later classes. We have number, we have string, we have Booleans, okay? Now, Booleans, whenever you have any value that has to do with yes or no, is he old? Yes. Is he dark in complexion? No. Does he have money? Yes. Is she beautiful? Yes. Is she ugly? No. So any yes or no value, all right, are represented as Booleans. But in JavaScript or in programming language, we don't have yes or no. We only have true or false. So true is for yes, false is for no. They are used for making decision. So example is this. So we are trying to check if a user is logged in. So we are saying is logged in as a variable is equal to true. Okay. Um, if I say let is logged in equal to true, you can see now that I'm using the let keyword because I'm very sure that this is logged in might change. If the user logs in, it can be true. If the user is not logged in, it will be false. So that's why I'm using let keyword here. So here, but look at our concern here is this data type. It is a Boolean data type. So I can also make it false. There are only two values of the Boolean data type. It's either true or false. Boolean data types can either be true or false. Okay, so these are Boolean data types. They are used for making decision. If you want to check if a user is logged in, true or false, has this person has paid have you paid for my course? False. Has paid can be true if the person has paid for the course. So Booleans are everywhere. Checking if a user is logged in, if a button is clicked, all right? These are kind of things. So we use Booleans to make decision. We can check if a user is logged in so that we can perform some actions. If a user has clicked a button, we perform some actions. So these are Boolean values. So they only have true or false, two values in the Boolean data type. So we also have the null and the undefined. Pay close attention to what I'm going to explain here. If I do something like this, if I go on and say, if I go on and say, um, let surname equal to null, all right? Is it this null or this one? I forgot. Okay, this is the null, not capital N. Let middle name equal to undefined. Most people make this mistake, okay? Null means I am very sure that this person does not have a surname. That's what I mean. I'm meaning that, yes, I am sure this person does not have a surname. If you assign null to any variable, you are saying that this variable does not have any value. But if you assign undefined, it means that, oh, I am not sure, or no, I forgot, I am not sure. So it means that you did not assign any value. But here you have assigned a value. Nothing is the value. But here you haven't assigned any value. You're not sure. All right. So when you declare variables, All right. Variables by default, this is variable declaration. By default, their value is undefined. If I go on now to print console.log and I'll print middle name, all right, the value will be undefined. If I save it now and I click on run without debugging, look at it. It prints undefined. Don't worry, this 42 was this one. But this one, this middle name is printing undefined. So whenever you declare a variable without giving it any value or assigning any value, by default, the value will be undefined. But if I go on now to say, okay, I want to print surname. Surname, I have given it a value of nothing. I am sure that the value is nothing. If I go on now and run without debugging, it will say null. All right. So when you declare variables and you don't give them, you don't assign any value to them, they become undefined. But if you are sure that that variable does not have any value, give it null. Okay. So here we are saying selected color is equal to null. Undefined means a variable exists but has not been given a value. Null means that there is an absence of a value. It means that we are very sure that there is an absence of a value. Undefined means variable exists, but we are not sure. We have not given it any value yet. So this is variable declaration, and by default, their value is undefined. So null is equal to I set it to nothing. Null means I have set the value to nothing. It has no value. Undefined means, oh, I forgot to set it to, do you understand? I forgot to set it. I'm not sure. I forgot to set it. All right. So we also have, if you want to check the type of a data type, you use the type operator. You can check a variable's type using the typeof operator. So if I go on now to my Visual Studio Code, and then if I want to check the type of this surname, all right, I will just say type, look at what I'm going to do. I will say type of. Do you understand? The type of, if you put type of in front of a variable name, it will give you the data type. So is it a Boolean data type? Is it a whatever data type it is going to give it to you? So here it's giving us object. Now, this is somehow advanced, but null, remember, this is supposed to be null, but it is giving us object. This is one of the issues JavaScript have. So but let me go to um, uh, first name. I think I have first name. The type of first name is what? The type of first name would give us string. All right. The type of age will give us number. All right. Will give us number. But the type of null, normally is supposed to give us null, but JavaScript has these issues when they created JavaScript before, the first time they created JavaScript. So instead of null, it's giving us object. So type of null is always object, but so it's not actually proper, but it is a mistake that they were not able to correct. So if I go for log is logged in, the type of data is Boolean. All right, look at it. The type of logged in data is Boolean. So the type of is Boolean. So if you want to find out the type of a variable, use the type of operator. All right, it will return the data type. So in this case, we are doing type of 25. 25 is a number, so the data type is number. Type of hello is string. Type of true is Boolean. Type of null is object. You see, this is a weird JavaScript quirk. So this is an issue JavaScript had when it was created, but they weren't able to correct it. Type of undefined is undefined. As a programmer, you're going to make use of all these things. So just make sure you understand this and I'm explaining here. So far, so good. If you're understanding this and I want you to type in the comment section, I am following. Type in the comment section, I am following. Okay. Share with us what you have understood so far. Always check types when you're debugging your code. Check the types. Okay. We'll get to that as we progress. So common beginner's mistake, forgetting to put strings in quotes. All right. Either single quote or double quote. Using null versus undefined incorrectly. Make sure if you are assigning null, make sure that you're saying it has no value. Undefined means I forgot to add the value. Numbers, you don't use numbers as strings in calculations. When you want to do calculations, don't use numbers as strings. Confusing assignment versus this. We'll talk about these operators, the inequality, the equality operator. We'll talk about all of them later on in the class. Okay. So final summary, You have learned the 5 basic data types in JavaScript: the numbers data type, the string data type, the Boolean data type, the null data type, and the undefined data type. Okay. Data types help JavaScript understand what kind of information you're storing and prevent bugs. If for any reason you're not understanding anything we are saying here, please come to the community poll. Come to the community tab. All right. If you have any question, you want me to answer your question, come to the community tab. All right, and ask your question. Participate in the community tab. All right, participate in the community tab. Ask your question. Drop any. Say your mind. What do you want us to discuss next? Come to the community tab and talk about it. Okay. So practice every day. Practice variables. Practice variables. Work with different data types. So in the next class, we'll be talking in the next class, we'll be talking more about conditions and logics in JavaScript. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment day 2 part 1 done. Comment day 2 part 2. Oh, sorry, this is the part 2. Comment day 2 part 2 done. Subscribe, turn on notifications, share with your friends. Engage in this video. Engage so that YouTube can actually take it to make it available, accessible to other people. Okay, and I'll see you in the next class.